Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the 436th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, June 9th, 2022. This is the broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond, and I'll be host today in these weekly Knowledge Seekers Workshop series. And as usual, in the last 435 Knowledge Seekers workshops, we are joined with Mr. Mehran Keshe of the Keshe Foundation, who will be presenting today's workshop. Hello, Mr. Keshe. Are you ready to fly today?
Yes. Good morning, good day to you, as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of Knowledge Seekers of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Knowledge Journey. Yes, we are ready to fly. We are ready to fly beyond imagination. As many of you joined us yesterday in a broadcast of the people who went through the flight simulation. Usually, organizations, when organize these kind of excursions or tests, they do one day and then they see what might happen, and then they do another flight test, maybe in 6 months or some years down the line. We have developed a fully comprehensive system. And with that in hand, Keshe Foundation will continue on a weekly basis flight test. We have another session of 10 people, this time totally German, as we're trying to load up a system with what we call European and Aryan, what we call memory bank and a Wikipedia of the information. They'll be with us tomorrow. And then on Monday and Tuesday, more people will go through the same system. Tuesday will be only a morning session, not an afternoon session. And then from the following week on, we'll test only Tuesdays and Wednesdays. This allows our team to upgrade, allows to run the productions and everything else, to produce new systems to come in. Because when we run the systems, we are all there. If anything needs to be adjusted, anything needs to be what we call set up, takes a lot of time and energy. And more or less 2 days a week flight test is more than enough for the Keshe Foundation for the next 2-3 months. We think that we can cover what we are looking for. The experience of 6th of June and the 7th of June on both the American side of the time zone and the European time zone gave us a huge insight. The insight is very simple. Man has achieved a dimension of knowledge that with it can dictate, choose, and decide. This became very, very clear in our testing. In the process of test on the number of people who came into the what we call the flight zone was very simple. They are in their own dreams. They were in their own dimensions and directions, I'll call it. And as we said, the responsibility of the new life, new technology, is to work between the physicality and the soul, that the two interact. And this became very clear in the process of the teaching of and the work of last days of testing. People are in a dimension of the soul, and with the voice of a man to the physical dimension, we ask them to fly, and instantaneously they take that position. They want to fly or they don't want to fly. They want to go where we ask them or we request them to go. We asked the first people to go to the moon, and we heard in the testimony of yesterday, it's instantaneous, and they're on the moon. We ask them to fly. We don't create condition, and they go where they want to go. One swims the oceans, and one goes somewhere else, and one goes to the sun. And we test to see what we promise, connection between the soul of the man and the soul of physicality. And this has given us a new, what we call, incentive to go further in so many ways. In the test coming up, we know the souls which are there, and we know the souls if they can be there. We request a specific, what we call, missions, specific things to be done. One of them may what we call, what we promised from the beginning. Manifestation of the Christ, blessed his name. We'll ask some of the people who go through the system to pay a visit to the soul of Christ, blessed his name. And if they can do it, if they had the connection of life, they will come back and tell us how he looked and what he had to say about his time. Then we go in the different dimensions. As I wrote in the communications we have with NASA Corporation in the United States, we have offered them two options. Provide us with the exact position of the Apollo landing. The way our knowledge seekers on Tuesday paid a visit to the moon, we request them to pay a visit to the site. Is there such a thing on the moon? Is there systems left behind decades ago by the Americans? Then we show you how we'll change this. We ask them to bring parts of what they see left over at the site possible back with them. We'll ask the travelers to come back with pieces, evidence, and confirmation. If they cannot bring it back, or they say they got it but they couldn't bring it back, we have to adjust our systems. Do not forget, we introduce you the material enhancement unit. This technology exists inside the new flight system, which means what is gathered as the energy of physicality can be converted. Maybe we have to fine-tune it. Then, as I have requested again from the head of NASA mission to Mars 2030, to provide us with the location of the Mars systems, which they sent it to Mars and they work for a while. If they have any pieces they think it needs repaired, we can be in position of and see if we can repair. But people who go to the site, these are not what we call talks. What we've seen, what we observed in the systems of past days, confirm to us this is a reality, is for us to fine-tune, and deliver. We'll bring you in groups where we think, from Russia, from the United States, for the head of Islamic Republic of Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, to meet to the soul of people in the room to discuss the solution to 5+1. Will solve the problems within the confines of the flight system. We have to try. We have the knowledge and we have the responsibility with what we have developed to deliver. Last night I was talking to a very close person to me, one of my cousins, born same time, brought up the same way, and he's a Sufi. He's a very devoted Sufi. And he said, Mehran, what have you done? I do this through energy. I said, yes, I know you've done this for years. But it's you. Now it's a system. Now we can travel. He said, I could never travel, but I can transfer energies to people who are sick. And I know what I do with them. He said, you've gone beyond the knowledge. And as a Sufi, I accept you have achieved with what I see in the videos of yesterday, a break in the knowledge of man. We have to understand these are the realities we're going to face. We have to understand that the game has changed. As I said, this is just the first step. As you are what I call the naughty children, playful, many of you will come with different desires without telling us, and you go on in there and see if you can achieve your desire. And as I said to the first person who went through the system, a simple thing. He went through the first system on his own. And then we brought in the second person, which is from Netherlands. When he came out, I said to him, what was your wish? What was your desire? He said, I wanted to gain the knowledge of the universe. That's why I came. That was my desire, that I know everything that I can do. I said, you failed before you go in. The system is not there for you to take. The system is there for you to give. And if you truly give, the intention of giving, you truly find empty cup to fill in. You expected to go in as a man and come out as an Einstein and a philosopher of the knowledge of the universe. This will not happen. You went to steal. We heard from a guy in Netherlands and his sister, the same proposition, the same, but he said, I was there to give, and he received enormous amount. We heard from different things. You hear the voices. We analyze what we call the information. We analyze what it means in our system. Each person, what it goes, what is done, what is added to the system, what is taken from the system. In this process, maybe tomorrow, maybe sometime in the coming days, we'll have a message from Christ, bless his name, for you all as it listens. We believe it, we accept it, because we, in a way, commission it. None of you knows who that person will be. And then we repeat it again. We bring the facilities of the present science to manifest the true face of Christ, bless his name. Then we see how much mysticism and light sits within the Vatican. Then it's for the Christians to decide. It will be a test of time. It will be a test of time for us to travel the span of the universe. It will be the test of time for us to understand new technologies, to understand new insights in the working of the universe. It will be an insight for us to bring changes on the dimension of the life of this planet. As I said before, you all waited and worked with the madhouse and the paint pens and the pen pads, and while you were children busy with your toys, we finished the game. We finished the process of understanding. We built systems that not 1 or 2, 15 people have taken what we call the flight. 10 people tomorrow, maybe 11, maybe 12. And then the same numbers next week. But it's your responsibility to be here to bring the knowledge within the races of the man, that it completes the encyclopedia of what we call the knowledge of this planet. If you have a beautiful, obedient, lovable cat, or a dog, or you have a beautiful fish, ask permission from our team As long as they're tiny, we don't want the big ones. We can't fit them in our system. Bring them in with you. Bring the most beautiful plants with the most beautiful flowers. Bring the plants with the most beautiful scents. Bring with you the most beautiful stone you see, and bring with you the images of the love of mankind, and enter the systems. And let us, in so many ways, imprint the knowledge of this planet that dogs and cats and fishes cannot go to Wikipedia to put their own information. The information put on them about them is by the man and imagination of the man. Let them deliver the fingerprint. Bring with you the love of mankind and leave the hates behind. And bring with you what you see as the most beautiful thing in your life. And let's embed this into the system that it gets registered in the encyclopedia of the plasma of this planet. As we build more and more systems, due to the way we have set them up, they will transfer information from one to another. And we build what we call music of the most beautiful things around this planet. We work with every, what we call, creed and nation and race, except Belgians. This race is excluded from the dominion of the kingdom of the God. For what they did and what they do to the children of the man. In so many ways, we want to bring balance to the society, that we take a perfect, what we call, mixture of the information and knowledge of the man into the universe. We bring a totality of what we call collection of the information that does not allow abuse of any process in the universe. When you come to the system, come with love. When you come to the system, come with sincerity. And when you come to the system, don't come with lies to yourself, within yourself. I tell the system, I want this, but I really want something else. The minute you thought it is registered in the soul, then the soul will tell you, you come out with that. People like you, once you left the space flight, for the coming weeks and months, send us the report. We don't chase you. We don't come and tell you what you did, what happened. Send us a report. What was the feeling a week later, a day later? What was the emotion? What is your connection? What do you feel added to? What do you think it changed in you? Or it has changed the environment around you to facilitate your wish. Try to understand the new technology. Try to understand it's not there for to take, it's for there to give. That by giving, you find solutions for the others. Not if I give, I'll receive. When you go in to give to receive, you have already failed. If you go in to be the best in everything you can imagine, as a ballerina to a scientist, you have failed. Be there to elevate others and other things, and not for you to elevate yourself, that you become more arrogant and more what they call egoistic in the dimension of the failures of the man of the past. It'll be interesting to see how many of you will come out, go home, and find a change. and find a change in a way that you never thought would be achievable. Making friendship with a father you never spoke, making contact and bringing what you thought it was someone you hated more to become the one you love more. Achieving knowledge that you could never imagine achievable. Entering domain and dominions that gives you a new dimension of life. Becoming traveler of the universe and not just going to see the sight on this planet. Today, you dream of Niagara Falls or jungles of Africa. Those of you who have connected to this system, you start dreaming, you start realizing that you go to new places you never knew. These are the new sites, these are the new places in the universe, which now is open to man. When you see the travelers of the universe, respect them, love them, adore them, and invite them back. If one of you or some of you while you're in the system or after come in and bring the passengers of the universe with you, we accept, we greet you. Nobody will call you a lunatic because this was the purpose of these systems. When you travel the span of the new dimensions, try to understand. Try to be part of and not separate. In a way, in one of the talks of yesterday, become that butterfly. Become that with you flying, others enjoy your beauty. And in that process, we bring the change. The new enhancement units for flights, which now are on the test, will bring new dimensions. Gradually, we'll explain more and more. Gradually, we extend to the knowledge more and more. We change the enhancement unit to the room which now the enhancement units are in, which means you can walk in as collectively as you like, as a mixture of races as you like, and within the space of the room, you will all travel to all directions and dimensions, or you like to go camping together on the moon. Don't bring food, because some of your food will not be edible on the planet Moon. Maybe the condition is different and you cannot eat, but you absorb energies. Bring things with you and see if you can carry with you. Pack your luggage, call your brother and say, I'm coming to see you today. I'll be in New York at night. See, by going through the system with your suitcase, you will go to New York at night. And if you do, come back. When you return, tell us how it was. Did you meet him? Did you eat with him? Can he confirm your existence and your dominion at that point? It's you who has to manifest yourself, not our system. Our system is a cage which frees man from the cage of his own soul of physicality. The rest is yours. Someone wants to see the daughters. Someone wants to see brother. Someone wants to see someone from the past they want to meet again. This is all a possibility, a reality which now exists. And more people going through the system, more and more of you find out how easily it will become. In the next day or two, the second operational system will come in. The two work together in tandem. And then we see how the situation and combination of you as passengers of the craft will change. As you heard with one of the participants yesterday, she became the captain. And she decided where to go. And she says, it took them, they went to where and it wasn't good. She decided to go somewhere else. And then she decided to go to the sun. Now you understand, when I told you the captains of the future give their souls to the captain to protect, and they protect it and bring it joy with their soul. And we've seen it for the first time. In the first day, whatever we said has come out of the memory bank of the people who took the flight. Come into the flight system with the love of Creator and walk out of the system becoming part of the Creator. And then see where the mankind goes. It's you. Now it's on the table. Those of you who go to moon, bring us back the rock. Those of you who go to some other places, bring back with you friends. And then let them take us to show us their dominion, where they came from. When you meet someone in a cafe, you don't know how they live and where they live till they invite you home. And then you know what home is. It will be the same with many of you in the new systems. The lady said, there were dogs. And then later on she says, I think they were my family. You bring a family home, invite them to join you back. Our systems and operation in this has set up to accommodate the full spectrum of the soul of the universe. No harm will come to them, but we ask them to stay within our system, that we have control of the time and the space. The computer game is over. It has become a reality game, and it's not a show. It is introducing mankind to universal community in a very soft way. In a way, when you land somewhere accidentally, you first take a few steps. You smell the environment, you look what is there, trees, stones, the environment. This is what we are doing with you at the moment in the next few weeks. Taking mankind to a new environment. You see the water, dip your toe in, you see the water with acid. If I was a man, would have been able to stay this, then you understand you have taken a new dimension. In manifestation, you become acclimatized to the environment. We heard from one of our people in Germany that half octopus and half human. And in the other, she still tells you the same, but this time she's on Earth and she's a mermaid. Again, the same. Attachment to the physicality of the man is very important. I'm prepared to compromise half, not all of it. Maybe the next time I'll become the fish, but today I still want to be a man. We heard from our other people how they say physicality, the thoughts wanted to take over and are dismissed. This is how it will be. The soul will do the work of the physicality. The soul is the traveler. It's got its freedom. It does not need to wait for you to sleep. It is with you when you're awake. As I've said, a new game for mankind has started. A new lifestyle has started. A new process of interaction. And in a way, we have let loose the man out of the village. Let's see how village you behave and see how serene you behave as the passengers of the universe. You yearn for this for thousands of years. Now I have given it to you as a blood of Peter, the gift. Let's see what that gift brings you. If you're after vision to the dimension of the sight of the soul, you shall not be blind. And if within the structure of the body of the man, you are a cancer to the society of the universe, you have to sort that out by yourself. As I've seen, mankind has been kept out due to his behavior, due to his conduct in the past times of the creation. Join us tomorrow. And as you're doing, some of you, join us on Saturday. I spoke to Rick. We don't need to do it 9 o'clock Monday morning. Tomorrow is Saturday. If you would like to go and do a lot of things with the family, we'll choose a time. Maybe 6 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock. In the afternoon, we do a small session, 1 hour, 2 hours, not much. Because then we do the same next week for those who come through the system. Those we find interesting. And then we build up. Come with your mother language and walk out with the language of the universe. I have delivered to you what I promised in totality. A health system, a feeding system, a light system, an energy system to the soul of the man, and everything else is all in it. When you walk in, you see the magnets. When you walk in, you see the conduct of the plasma. As you walk in, you see the what we call operation of the pain pattern, pain band, and everything else which we have. Then hidden within all the technologies which we have developed in integration with each other, we have delivered the totality. Now is for our team to learn more and for them to deliver more. And I think those of you who went through the system in the last few days will have a different experience when you come the next time. The expectation will gone. Now you come into the reality. But we would like some of you to tell us if you made an appointment with your family in different places to meet them and have lunch with them. See if you can go there for lunch. And we'll talk to them after you come back. Did they enjoy the lunch? These are important to us because it gives a dimension for our technicians and people who develop the technology to understand what we have to increase, what we have to change, what we have to adopt in the systems, that we don't bring the plate without the food, or we bring a food without the plate while we're coming back, because part of the system was not adjusted to what it is. You will learn, some of you, as you're through the system, that you can tell us, I'm bringing somebody with me, can you accommodate us? As your soul speaks through the word of physicality, we respond. If you are ready to accept, what is the condition? Who are you bringing back with you? What are you bringing back with you? Which part of the system we want you to place them or ask them to come in, that we see, we respect their, what we call, energy facilities. We don't bring a Jewish or a Muslim and give them a pig. They come in, we have to know how we accommodate. In a way, you have to tell us what you have accepted through your soul, and your soul we are responsible for. We have to accommodate your wishes within our system. We communicate with you through your dimension of physicality, and your soul will bring to the point of understanding. If you notice, a lot of you, we put 2 chairs in the system, and you thought it's for the 2 passengers, you go with your wife. It's the same. You bring a friend from the space, there is a seat for him to be. He's not just man anymore. We facilitate for them to be part of us. And if you're in the room and they manifest, do not run out of the room and do not go and hug them and kiss them. They are adjusted to the person who has brought them. They are not adjusted to you outside the dimension of the fields inside the system. These are the facts that you will face in the coming time as the technology completes. We just tell you what to expect and what are the possibilities. And how many of you will remember when you seen flying with these doors and running around having a party? When you go to a party, you always invite them back for a party at your place. But tell us before you come. And don't bring too many. We don't have such a big place. And on the other hand, make sure we know how you come. We work through your soul, but at the same time, the soul is extended beyond the physicality, but we still have access to your physicality to information. In a way, I welcome you to the reality of the space travel. And in a way, you're in for a big surprise. I hope you enjoy it. It's taken me thousands of years to bring you to this point, and this is just what I call first draft of the system. In the near future, you will not see any physical damage. There'll be stars behaving as systems. There'll be lights in different positions of the room to accommodate everyone as they move around. At the moment the reactors are fixed to a position, the upcoming systems, reactors are floating, accommodates to every emotion, like different magnets. We put a system on some of you who've been there before, or you come in the future, behind you. It's like a noise-making magnetic field. When you give to it, when you are giving to the universal, what I call community, you find out the noise become very sharp. We know if you are giving. When you're in the process of taking and you want to run, you bring the system to heavy run. The screeching that it does not want to be part of it. The noises made in the system tells us if you're taking or giving, and who we have with us, and how the soul is behaving. And when you laugh, when you're joyful, we see it from the system again. It's important for us now to translate the language of the system to a working system for us as a team, that the new systems coming in will carry the emotion of the facilitation of the system for the passengers too. Which means now we are increasing the emotional side of the system. You'll go and sit in different part of the system and you'll have different emotions. We will try this in the coming time. You will sit in different part of the room and you get different emotions. You are trying this tomorrow with one person. We have asked them to come in and we go through the emotions of what we call work of the system. How they will have different emotions in different parts of the structure. It'll be interesting to see, and it'll be interesting for them to explain to you about how they. I have fulfilled my promise to you. You got your flight system and everything else which goes with it. It's for you to take that flight. And so many ways is for you to confirm to us you have become a traveler of universe. And please, remember, don't come in to take. We go to a break because I think it's a lot, and hopefully we'll have maybe some of the people who went through the test with us yesterday on Tuesday, and see if they want to add to part of this process. We have Anglin, the head of the Keshe Foundation, in the list. If you could bring her in, please. Galib is with us. Would you promote Galib and learn from his experience? After we come back, and we'll see where we land. And we'll see how we take this step to the next journey. And from him, and maybe the others who are here, who went through the test on Tuesday, how they feel since they left and what has brought to them since that time. Would you like to take a break? And we go to the next system, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kesh. We'll have a short break here and return with the 436th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, June 9th, 2022. Will be a second to continue here. My mouse has just suddenly stopped working. Bear with me a second.